Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Manchester United Agenda. It is the 12th of May, 2025. And you can see that I've remembered how to press all the buttons in the correct order tonight. So we're off to a very, very good start. And I'm joined by... You what?
I said we'll see how long that lasts for.
Yeah, well, look, we've gone live, so that is, we're successful at the moment. How are you, Mr. B? It's been a while.
Yeah, I'm good, man. Good to have you back. Yeah, it's just it's good. Life is good apart from Man United. So yeah, let's
How did you get on in the league?
My last game Saturday. My last game is Saturday. The joke is we're in third. There's 3 points on the same. There's 3 teams on the same points. The league's won by. I'm not going to call their name. They're wankers. So we're in third. We're 1 goal behind the team in second. We're playing the team in fourth, and we have to get 1 more goal than obviously the team above us. They're playing the team at the bottom of the league who won 12-2 last week. So I don't think we're going up. I don't think we're going up. We're not going up. But look, it is what it is. I do believe. My head's cloudy enough to always have belief, but no, we're gonna struggle. As long as we win the game, then I don't want to end the season on a loss. Win the game, and then we'll see what happens. But yeah, we know that. Well, I know that we ain't getting promoted, but I'm taking the first team next year anyway, so I've got my promotion anyway. So.
Well, congratulations.
Wow, you that, Mr. B? Yes. You got that one in. Nice. Wow.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, I just haven't told them yet, so it's all right. They can wait until.
Is it still Saturday football?
Still Saturday football. Still the same procedure. It's just that, yeah, I have to do some squad trimming and add a couple of additions. So yeah, I'm working on it already.
Wow.
And now
drinks are on you, Mr. B, for celebrations. Come on.
I'm telling you. I'll send something down to you by mule, Dora. You'll probably get it this time next year.
Ibuprofen or paracetamol. Just kidding. Oh, God. Apart from...
Oh, go on. Oh, sorry, are you aware of
the
first team? Do you know the first team players? Are you going to bring in some of your own players? I mean,
I'm bringing in all of my players. The first team this year have been a bit of shit. They've won maybe 3 games.
Wow.
Well, taking the goalie, I've already spoken to him. He said he'll come. And there's a central midfielder problem. Who? The first team goalie.
Oh, you're keeping the first team goalie.
Yeah, keeping my first team goalie. Yeah. He's good, but I've never had the opportunity.
Is his name Omana?
No. Oman is the one I binned at the beginning of the season, mate. I tell you. We had a goalie who couldn't. Oh my God. Oh Lord. Yeah, amateur football is a beautiful thing, man. We moan about professional footballers managing the amateur football team. It's acceptance. There's a lot of acceptance that has to be done. You know what I mean? But yeah.
Which brings me actually to my next question: is Yabba, the kit? Where is it?
Mr. B's got some socks. I don't know how that.
And 2 pairs of shorts.
It must be from that charity game. That's the only way I can think, because I think we use my kit for that.
Yeah, but why would I have 2 pairs of shorts?
Maybe you want it cold.
Emergency.
Yeah.
Well, look. Anyway, I'll get them down to this week. Anyway, I'll get them down to this week.
Dora, how are you doing? Everything good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm a bit tired. Local elections are coming up. All the politics, it's killing me. I need to do this, I need to do that. And I actually cannot wait for this week to end. But I'm good. It's work, and it's an honest work, as, those cowboy movies say. So I'm happy about that. But yeah, it's very tiring. And the weather, again, is shit. We had to turn up the heat again. It's 15 degrees Celsius. It was 27 last week. Like, this climate is killing me. But I'm good. I'm good. Well, of course, when I'm actually good when I'm not watching United games. But unfortunately, I did watch some of it on Sunday, and honestly, I regretted it. I fell asleep during, I think at halftime I actually fell asleep at one point. So yeah, but I'm good. I'm glad you guys are doing well as well. I mean, promotions to the soccer, of the football team, which is amazing. And yeah, I'm expecting those paracetamols, English ibuprofens, painkillers
Yeah,
to
don't worry,
come
man.
in
I
my
got some
mail in
500.
the next.
I got some 500 milligrams on the way to you. Don't worry, Dora. I got
Do you know
more.
what,
Oh,
Jungle?
oh my God. That's amazing. Like, that's my favorite measure. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, I'm
Do you
good.
know why the jungle is massive?
Do I know why the jungle is massive?
Yeah, do you know why jungle is massive?
Do I know why jungle? Yeah, because it's flat.
No, it's paracetamol. Paracetamol.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Thanks for that one, Yabba.
Oh, God.
Because of the what?
It's paracetamol.
I don't get it.
Don't worry about it.
Why? It's funny, funny you say that because
I've told it wrong. It should be why are there no aspirins in the jungle? Because paracetamol. But I got confused with another joke about why jungles were so massive.
All right.
Right, we're doing some comments.
Paracetamol.
The parrots eat it all.
Oh, the paracetamol. Okay.
That's why there's no aspirin in the jungle.
Okay.
We're still trying to work out why
I mean-
jungle is massive.
I don't have to have a language barrier to know this was a bad joke, BT. Be better.
Just
Yeah,
shut
was the
up,
king-
Dora.
Yabba's the king of the corny jokes and didn't get
It's
the
funny you say
punchline
that.
already.
Because my girlfriend's son,
Oh,
he's
no.
just come up with an
Okay.
idea. I shouldn't be because he's painted in the idea, but he's got a bull mastiff or whatever. So he's doing this thing where he's going to invest in maybe a lead or something and try to sell it. And her daughter's already done that. Her daughter's partner's already done that and created a jug with a digital, because when you make a jug for cooking and all that kind of thing, it fades out after a while. So she's done it digitally. So when you're measuring up, it's a digital thing, which is a good idea. And she's invested in that, and she's already got like.
Well, has nobody.
No. So already big companies like John Lewis or are interested.
Is this
Don't
not a
take this
joke?
idea. But no, it's not a joke. So her son.
This was a joke.
No. It's a true story. Because it's funny when you said that joke, I was thinking, oh my God, am I going mad here? So her son has got a dog lead or something like that. And it's called the Jungleist Mastiff, as in the dog,
Okay.
Mastiff. Yeah, that's a bit of wordplay with that. And I can't remember what it was, but something to do with a dog lead or a specialist thing for specialist dogs. Dogs like that.
I'll look out for that. Then I haven't got a dog.
Well, don't steal the idea because I shouldn't be revealing that. So
Yeah, I was gonna say you're a bloody idiot.
Brilliant.
You just.
But
You
I
dropped
would
them right
say
in this shit.
you had me thinking that, wow, these guys are creative. What? Maybe I need to come up with something that's going to be big in the future. That's going to, what can I think of that's going to sell loads and have a good logo or have something that no one's thought of yet. So I'm going to think during the show. I'm going to come and think about it. I'm going to come up with an idea. By the end of the show, I'm going to come up with
roll-up tennis court.
What?
A roll-up tennis court or something.
What? Roll-on tennis court.
Roll up tennis court.
I'm also going to think of stupid inventions. But I do want to ask you about the Pope when the show finishes. So don't let me forget that. Right.
So can I ask you guys as well?
You've got to say hello to people, Yabba.
By the end of the show, can you just come up with an idea like that you want to patent, an idea that you think no one's created yet that you could put out there?
All right. Got Andrew in the house saying comrades. Got Bart. Good evening to you, Bart. We've got King Dino. I haven't seen you some time. I assume you're referring to Yabba there, of McTominay's agent. Another 2 assists and a man of the match at the weekend. Got
Ew.
Stephanie Griffith. The negativity is beginning to come in a little bit. Bilal starting to doubt this formation will ever work. Kieran, good evening to you. We've got Mitesh. Hello, I hope you're doing well. Got Steph. A 4-4-4 wouldn't work with these players of ours. What else we got? We got Simon Warner. Each time we play a Europa League match, we always fall flat on our faces when we play a league game, which is very true. Right, Andrew, a decent horizontal toaster would sell billions. Would it? I mean, does the... Okay. Right, he's now brought up sex robots.
Fucking hell, Andrew started. Well done, Yabba.
We got Hammer Football TV.
What is happening, big man? I hope you're doing well. I couldn't. I couldn't. I contemplated getting you on Friday, and I knew we were going to take licks, and I couldn't. And then you gave us the licks. I tuned into your show for all of 4 minutes. I was going to leave a message, and I couldn't. So congratulations on the double, you wanker. I hope you're well, man. I hope you're well, man.
We got Patrick. He says, I like Amorim. You can't lose that many games over the period. It's rare for a manager to take a team from such a low to a high in 1 year. Many, many question marks. Oh, that's an awful noise. Where's that coming from? Right. Be honest, boys and girls. Who watched the full game yesterday? I went to sleep at halftime.
I fell asleep, and then I woke up, and then I was on my phone, and I was doing like this, and then I purposely, after the second goal, I think I purposely turned off the game. No, I'm lying. I turned off the game around 50 minutes when I saw 2 clear chances being wasted once again by our attackers, and I couldn't watch it anymore. I'm just, I just, left the room. I left the room at that moment in time. So yeah, it was a really tough watch.
All right, Mr. B, you didn't see the game?
I didn't see all of it. I broke my neck to get in to watch it. I thought the first 10 minutes were decent, and then I was kind of in and out. And when they scored, I knew I just couldn't be bothered. I turned over. I turned the volume down and went to sleep. There was just no point. I wasn't shocked. It hasn't surprised me. I looked at the team, to be fair. I looked at the team and thought, ooh, it actually looks like a decent team. I thought, okay, and then just, boy, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I saw Rasmus miscontrol a pass, and I closed my eyes, and then I woke up, and the game had finished. Right, this is all very worrying, because the only person who's seen the full match is Yabba. Yabba, what are your takeaways from this game?
Like you expect, I mean, look, I disagree with Mr. B, because he said he saw the lineup, said it'd be interesting. I saw the lineup, I think, please don't anyone get injured. Maybe we should drop a few people. Harry Maguire was dropped, thankfully. We don't want him getting injured.
Who else would you have dropped? Sorry, just before you carry on.
Well, it means not. We have to accept the game doesn't mean anything. Okay, as in we need to concentrate on the Europa League and get into the Champions League. That's the main thing. We're in the final now. We've done all the hard work. And as you know, with teams, usually once they get to a final weeks in advance or get to a playoff weeks in advance, they switch off and start thinking about that one game. And that's where we're at the moment. And it's been a long time when we've had to have this sort of mentality. But it seems like you shouldn't be betting on Man United in the league right now, because we're probably not going to be going for it 100%. We're probably thinking about the final, and that's how the game played out. West Ham, they were below us, and now they've gone above us, and they played really well. And they once again the physicality showed.
Did they? Did they play well?
They beat us 2-0 away from home. They've never done that.
That's not why I asked you, because we're shit.
Yeah.
Did they play well?
the physicality. I think the physicality showed. I saw Amas going against the Sufal or whatever his name, the right back,
Oh,
against him, and I look at the side. I don't know if they wear extra tight shirts, or whatever, but he was really strong, big grown man.
you see the way he handled him though for that first goal.
Sufal.
Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I've got to say, one of my takeaways from the match is I think Harry Amas is going to have a great career and is a great player, but I don't think that he's quite ready for, like, you know, the top level football, because it's frankly a little bit embarrassing seeing the way Sufal, you know, like where you see them cartoons of a child fighting a parent and he's just got his arm out and the child is swinging, can't hit.
Yeah.
That is pretty much what it looked like to me. And I thought there were a couple of takeaways I had from the game, but my first big one is that Harry Amas alone might be the best for everyone at the moment for him. But he's going to be a top player.
Yeah, good experience though for him. I mean, there was an interview of him and Fredrickson. Is it Fredrickson, centre back? And they were talking about their debuts and coming into the first team. And they both said, look, it's a big. They said, I remember clearly. They said from under 18 to reserves, and then playing in the senior team against these proper players, you know, so there's much bigger difference. Said tactically, you have to be switched on. But he said the manager. They said. Because he said, I used to play left back, but now I'm playing third at the pitch. He said the manager's giving them clear instructions, so giving them a pamphlet or some sort of notes, giving them instructions about how to play the role. Do you understand what I'm saying? So there's a lot of detail going into it. And they did explain, both of them, the contrast, the massive difference between playing senior football against teams like West Ham compared to what they're doing at their level. Under 18s and etc. So it's a big difference. But overall, like I say, the main thing here, and we're going to get into comments about what the manager said as well. But we are focused on the final, and you can't expect us to go 100 miles an hour and extreme into these games because Euro got injured, and that's a bit concerning as well. So I don't see any reason to think about Friday's game. The main game for us now is the following Wednesday, when we play Tottenham, and I think Tottenham
no, I've got to disagree with you here, Yabba, and open it out to everyone else. It is the league, it is our bread and butter. Amorim should be putting a team out that go 100% in the game.
I agree.
I just like the thing is, Yabba, is you say we've done the hard work. You know, you say the season is all about the Europa League, and you're right in some respects. But that's what the players have made it into. They haven't done the hard work in the league. And this performance, once again, is a shockingly insipid and asinine display from all of them. And like one of my takeaways from this game is that I don't think that Amad Diallo can be trusted to play right back in the Premier League. Did you see?
He's a 10.
Wing back.
Yeah, I think he's actually. I actually think he's a 10. Defensively, yeah. I get it. Bathtime defensively,
exactly.
He's not switched on, but that's not his game, you know. So offensively, in that position, he does what obviously Amorim wants him to do, but defensively, he's too short anyway, in my opinion, to be a defender, because they'll always focus on him as a player. But get him in as a 10, get him in as the right 10, not an issue.
I know, but that did you see that like ejector seat maneuver he did for like for the cross that Sufal scored from? Like I've never seen anyone defend like
scored.
That. Sorry?
Souček scored. Yeah.
The Souček's goal to stop the cross, he looked like he was in Mario Kart or something. He leapt forward, both feet out. Like I've never seen anything like it in my life, and I think that this is a problem. Of that this isn't Amad's fault, as it were. This is actually the manager picking him in that position, and I'm very concerned with what I'm seeing because Dora, you're a big fan of Manuel Ugarte. What did you think of that particular incident?
I mean, the whole game he played was crap, in my opinion. He was not the only one. I felt Bruno Fernandes was very disappointing yesterday because we had while I was watching the game in the first half, especially, we had chances to kickstart a counterattack with West Ham being on the back foot. He consistently slowed down the game. And I know it's probably a tactics thing, but you as a player, as a captain, as someone who is dictating a game, and he was a creative midfielder in that game yesterday, he was supposed to create tempo for the team and make us, be in better positions and to score goals at the end of the day. So I was very disappointed with him. I was very disappointed with Ugarte. I think his weaknesses really showed today, and I think him and Bruno Fernandes cannot play in the long term together in the first team. That goal was pathetic, in my opinion. Like he had, and this was my issue with Ugarte. He cannot play forward passes. In that moment, he had on the right side. Was it Amadia? I think it was Ahmad. He had Rasmus, and on the other side of the pitch, I'm not sure if Garnacho already came into the game or was it someone else. It doesn't matter. He had another player on the left side. He chose to stand and sit on that ball. I don't know what was he doing, and of course he got his dispossessed. He's like my chicken. He's sitting on his eggs. Well, he sat on a freaking ball like a chicken that he is. Pathetic maneuver. I mean, you're like he was not cheap. We bought him for 60-something mil. He was supposed to be a marquee signing of Ineos. Well, he didn't. Throughout the whole season, he hasn't warranted that price tag once again, and that was pathetic in my opinion. And of course, he puts his defenders in a bad situation. They did the simple maneuver of going to on the flank, pass it to the middle. Bowen is there, and of course, no one can cover it on time. It's a straight goal. Pathetic maneuver. I want to come back to the mentality, right? I get it. It's Europa League final. We are focusing on that. But if you look at United's squad, surely we can scrape up some points in the last few fixtures before the Europa League final. We have 39, but we have 38 or 39 points. We are 17th. It's Manchester United. Like, if those three teams below us haven't been so bad this season as they were, Southampton, with Derby County, the worst Premier League team of all time, Ipswich Town, which play solid football. Literal farmers, and Leicester City, who have been in crisis they changed 3 coaches throughout the season. If they weren't so bad, we would be in relegation zone. Sorry?
Thank God Rude has been rubbish at Leicester. Because if he got them together.
Seriously, like I cannot stand some people saying, "Oh, fuck the league." Like, I don't care. Like, I'm not. I like that yesterday. I don't know what's it a tactic, but it was lethargic. It was pathetic. It didn't have any energy. They played like corpses. And to me, the most, I know Rasmus is shit. He confirmed it yesterday so many times. Like, I don't have to say it all over again. He's like I'm literally, losing my mind thinking about what he missed yesterday and what he did yesterday. But then you have a Garnacho as well. Clear chance once again. Like, what are you, having 5 clear-cut chances every single game, missing every single one. Conversion of goals, shit. Like, stay in the training ground and actually learn how to finish your dinner, because that's your job. And then Bruno Fernandes, in my opinion, and he's our best player by far, but his behavior and his mentality yesterday was pathetic, in my opinion. You should go for the counters, go for the goals, and not wait 2-0 to fall 2-0 to West Ham and then start to play. That's my issue with this team. When we are 2-0 down, we only then start to chase the result. Why not go from the 0-0? Why not go from the beginning? And we had
the
a
masochists.
They are pathetic, BT. Pathetic. And Amorim should take some of it as well, because he is responsible for them.
One thing I wanted to ask, and to the gents as well, is Ugate's reaction on the second goal is, in my view, extremely shameful. I know you all know I don't really rate him as a player, but I've always said I quite like his character. Like I find him an endearing little fellow. But I was shocked when I saw the highlights and saw what he did. Should Bruno or someone have kicked the shit out of him on the pitch? Because I think that's what I'd have done if he'd been my teammate and he'd done that. Like it's beyond the pale. Mr. B is a top level manager now. Are you running on and bricking him? What are you doing?
I wouldn't go as far as Marinakis and coming onto the pitch. No, I think. Look, it was a mistake. It was a mistake. There's no two ways about it. But players have been making mistakes all season. He's been better than I thought in front of goal in regards to he's probably taken more chances and scored more goals. But
he scored 2.
Yeah, he scored more than 2. What about his assists? He must have had 3 or 4 assists. Yeah,
he scored 2 goals.
Has he scored 2? I thought he was.
He scored against Bilbao and against Southampton, I think.
And how much assists has he had? He's had about.
He's had quite a lot, hasn't he? Like maybe 4 or 5.
Yeah, I mean he's been involved. So he's
this
maybe
is about his reaction, not like
what lying down with his head stooped down there, lying on the floor.
Yeah, like it's about the reaction.
Yeah, well,
any player can make a mistake, but it's the reaction to it is the issue for me.
Well, Bruno, I'm not sure Bruno's that type, and maybe he got it in the dressing room. I doubt it. I don't think there's any accountability at the club at the moment.
Yeah.
I don't think. Maybe they patted him on the back and said, "Unlucky, mate."
Yeah, but what are you gonna do?
Punch him in his face.
That's
it's professional footballers are supposed to do the basics right. I would say all of the time. I'm going to be honest, all of the time. They're professional. When you're asking for the Travellas and the 70-yard passes, that's fine. But he was feeling for a man with his bum who was nowhere near him. And then he fell on the floor. Yeah, he did Erasmus.
He was twerking. Yeah. Essentially, yeah.
There you go. And then he fell on the floor. And after
Start
that,
crying.
the team, he's just. I know why he was sold by PSG in regards to style of play. I still believe there's a role in the team for him, but I'm just not sure it's in the 2. I'm not sure the formations that these players are playing in is working. That's my biggest fear at the moment. The fact that we don't. You look at it, you look at it, and every game we play, we've got that big space in the middle of the park. We've got Casemiro, God bless him. We were cussing Casemiro this time last year, and now we don't want him to be playing in anything other than Europa because that's the tournament that we can win. Is that what it's got to now? Where we're relying on a player who was this last season and a big fat belly. He was custard brother with Luke Shaw. We were laughing at him, and he's come back into it now. So did we then make the club have now made the mistake in spending? It wasn't 25 million on Agate, 60 million on a player who is now being subbed every game. He's not playing full games.
Yeah. I mean, but we're obviously going to move on in a second to talk more specifically about Amran now. But I wanted your view on what Ugate's reaction was and whether it could be seen as sort of being like symbolic of the whole club, of the whole mentality, or what in your opinion has gone on there?
Yeah, very disappointing to see a player do that. You've got to show more than that. And even if you're playing poorly, like little kids when they're being scouted for something like that, if you did something like that and you're being scouted, your dad would really tell you off. Say, look, you got to show more than that. You got to show character. You lose the ball, you get it back. That sort of thing. And even up at senior level, you can see examples like that. It's really poor, you know. I hope his dad wasn't at the game, because his dad probably said, "You've made it as a footballer's son, but you shouldn't be doing things like that." You know, it's really out of order. So that's not acceptable. No one's saying it's right, and it is indicative of what's going on around the club right now. We didn't turn up at this game because there's no motivation. There's enough to play for. But when we're 2 down against Lyon at home, we turn up. Or when we were playing Bilbao away from home in that amazing atmosphere, we turned up. So it's not a behaviour. It's more a behavioural thing than actually say we're really poor. If we were really that poor, we wouldn't be in the final. We've got the ability to turn it up when we want to. You've got to have a motivation. But when you're stuck, like in as you are in the league, and you know, even if you win your remaining games, you're still not travelling get any places up the thing. You think, is it really worth it? And as much as you say it's wrong and it's a bad attitude, the bottom line is, as a player, your motivation is that cup final. And before the team talk, before the Hammers game, the manager said, "I give 110%." And we were like, yeah. But really, inside, that little devil in your head saying, nah, conserve yourself, because you could be picked for the final. Save yourself for that. That's just the way it is, unfortunately. It shouldn't be like that, but unfortunately, that is the reality of what we're dealing with right now. We know we're not going to get relegated. There's enough to play for. What's the point in busting the gut against West Ham or doing anything extra or running back, getting off your ass?
But there are
when you know you will do it. And trust me, this thing, we're cussing them now, but one of these guys, whether it's Rasmus or Ugarte or whatever, they will step up in the final and probably do something.
Don't put Rasmus's name into no conversation about.
I said it all season. He will probably turn up at the end of the season and do something where
Asia when they're on fucking tour and he's playing against bloody the Hong Kong 11. He's gonna go and score 27 goals in a game. No man, he's done, bro. He
should be sold.
Gonna be the guy. He won't be the guy. Yeah, he won't be the guy.
The window's not open until the season's done. Until back the players that are at the club right now. Because you never know. Like Mount.
To be honest, but I can open a window and throw Rasmus out of there without any regulations. I'm very up for defenestrating him. But what I want this to lead us on to now is but I'm going to show you some stuff. Like, we've got Amorim's quotes, and just to sort of like poison the well before we start. It sounds to me that Amorim is having an almost generational crash out from the comments that he's saying. So that's a quick bit of poisoning.
Leave Amorim alone.
All right, Amorim's job. There's a joke in there for those people that like these kind of things. Right. First of all, Yabba, I want to have a look at our record since Amorim took over. He's played 25 league games, won 6, drawn 6, lost 13. We've scored 30, conceded 43. Of the 75 points that were available, we've taken 24, and that is 0.96 points a game. That would mean if he had played the full season, we would finish with 35 points. I mean, Dora, some Serbo-Croat out for us. Would you mind translating that?
Croatian.
Demands it.
Croatian. Bože, God forbid, or oh God, something like in those terms. Yeah.
All right. Is anyone? I mean, did everyone know these stats, as it were?
Yeah.
Yes.
They're pretty
looks
damning,
worse.
aren't they?
Yeah, it looks. You know them. Everything's worse when you see it in print. Yeah, it's
certainly my overdraft.
Jesus Christ, we scored.
But I mean,
goals.
Great pick of of PowerPoint template. I like it.
Yeah, beautiful.
Thank you. I spent a whole 2 minutes choosing it. All right, we've got 40 likes.
It looks like the league colours.
Yeah, like, isn't that a nice coincidence? We got Rio Mayar in the house.
Rio.
Please don't tell me we are discussing Amorim's position. I suppose we kind of are, actually.
Yeah, we are. It's Rio. It's more on the words that he is speaking. Yeah. It's not really our. It's more on what he said. If he didn't give 175 interviews a week, then we wouldn't have anything to talk about. But he's spoken again, so yeah, it's more that's where we're going on it. But what is
his mental health?
Yeah, and what is
But
your position on Amorim's position?
Yeah.
Oh, for Rio?
Yeah, for Rio, yeah.
Okay. I mean, because we're just kind of reporting the news, Rio, because some people are calling this a generational crash out, and I feel that we have to discuss it. Right. Got some quotes for you now. So this is what he said after the game. We have to do so much better. And for me, the biggest concern is feeling that it's okay. We cannot change our position so much. So it's okay. That's the biggest problem in our club in this moment, because we are losing the feeling of that we are a big, massive club and that it's the end of the world to lose a game at home. So I think that's the biggest concern in our club. Yabba, I know that this kind of talk turns you on, despite the fact you were just saying the opposite of it.
No, this is what we want to hear from the manager. And I think it's great that he said this, because he's just saying that Man United at home losing like that, and obviously he's going to be questioned because of the previous slide you had about his record. He knows that, he's aware of that, and he's basically saying that we cannot have that mentality where we even let West Ham walk all over us in Old Trafford. We have to come better than that. A bit like Ten Hag used to say, understood being at Ajax as well, because he's been at club, and with Amorim being at Sporting, which is a big club, you're expected to win every game, and suddenly you're not, and you're taking like second best, and it's kind of acceptable. But it's not to him. He's saying, it's not me. I don't accept this. And it's great he said this, because it's not acceptable. So anyone talking about his stats and everything else, he's not saying, I don't care, or don't worry, lads, just go 50% today, or whatever, keep yourself fresh, or whatever. I don't think he's doing that. And he's making it clear to all the fan channels, all the media, and all the fans out there to say, look, this is not acceptable. We need to get back to where we were as a big club, where there's fear to come to Man United or fear to play Man United, not become a joke team, which is what we've become this season, you know? So that's the biggest concern at our club. He said it there at the last, at the bottom there. He says, so I think this is the biggest concern at our club. And I think it's good that he said that, because it's not acceptable, and he's not he's not playing with those standards either. Because coming from Sporting, he didn't have those standards, and Ten Hag didn't have those standards at Ajax as well. And when you come to a club at Man United, you're expected to win. And he's saying, even though the results are poor, he's not saying to the players, take it easy, don't worry about it, save yourself for the final.
Okay, but Yabba,
win every game.
Yabba, what if you were to make a counter argument to what you've just said? What would you say?
A counter argument would be that maybe someone would say, oh, he's just trying to make excuses to save his job or to explain, straining for some explaining about his record, which you put up on the previous slide. Because you've got to be asked questions about that.
Yeah, so but what if the person, if you understand the problem, which he does, okay, it's that you can read between the lines and say lack of motivation, lack of commitment, lack of respect for match-going fans as well. But this has been going on for quite some time, these poor performances, certainly at home. Who is the one person at the club that can influence this the most? And is that not Amorim?
Yeah, that could be a counter argument, say that it's the manager's job to do that. But as you said before, funny enough, when I was at work, I was at a little sneaky time, I was watching the progress to the 2017 final, when we beat Ajax in the final. And we lost the group game, I think, to Fenerbahce or Feyenoord. And I was looking at the players. We had Ibrahimovic, we had Pogba, we had Rashford, we had Mata, we had Fellaini, we had all these experienced pros, which grinded us through to the final. And we were still up the top of the league, top half of the league as well. And I look at that side, I was comparing it to what we have today, and it's like day and night. So, and the last couple of years, even like last season, you could see with Ten Hag coming 8th place as well, that this is what we've become. It's not just a Amorim problem, it's a player problem. We don't have the quality. We have to accept it. We're sitting here cussing Ugarte, we're cussing Rasmus, for example, because they don't have the quality to get results I mean, Erasmus is, if you want to put up a stat about performance, put Erasmus's goal return, and that will just show you.
Put Xerxes in it as well, and Cheeto, to be honest. He's had absolute rubbish from the forwards this season. But one thing, just before I bring someone else in, is that I would say, Yabba, that this isn't about the individual playing qualities of each player. This is about their preparation and their attitude to the game. And I think that those are separate things.
I disagree.
Okay.
I wouldn't question Amorim's preparation towards a game.
No, but these are the players. But
I understand.
I understand
what you're saying, but I wouldn't question his preparation and whatever. It's about, you can give good instructions, but it's about whether they deliver it on the pitch. Look at Amas and the back post. He let Souček get in front of him.
Yeah, but there wasn't much he could
Every
have done
game
about
we play, we analyze every game. There's always something where we can say that shouldn't happen, that shouldn't be happening. They need to improve in this area. So being the wrong side of the man in that situation, that's something he has to learn, and he's going to have to suffer with, the young man. But he got exploited there. He got exploited. So you can say what you want about it. We're trying to make things work, but the players are not experienced enough. With example there for that goal, as Amas let the guy get wrong side of him, or we're not finishing. That's not experienced enough, or we are experienced and just don't have the legs to get around the pitch.
But these aren't what he's talking about, is it? He's talking about that there is like an apathy in the players. So have I, Dora, Mr. B, have I got this wrong? Like, what do you interpret what he says here to me?
Well, I mean, he's very self-aware. I think he has issue with the players' body language on the pitch, especially in the last few weeks after we got to the semis. Now we are in the finals of the Europa League. I think even before yesterday's game, they started playing more lethargic. The energy wasn't there. All of a sudden, we were not, playing, even trying to play a faster football. I'm seeing, people stopping the counters, and just passing it around, doing absolutely nothing. And I think we got it in the same way. I think Amorim has a problem with some of the players not taking it seriously because, we are in Europa League final. That's our bread and butter. That's what we need to play for. That's going to save our season, right? And then everything is all right. But I don't have to give it 100% here because we have nothing to play for. We're not going to get relegated. We're not playing for Europe. On the other side, I don't want to get injured. I want to play in the Europa final, right? I want to be available in a week or 2 weeks later. But I just want to say to Amorim, as a counterpoint, aren't you the one who needs to say to his players, for example, yesterday, when he saw that Bruno Fernandes consistently stopped very fast counterattacks for the team just to play pragmatic and keep ball close to their feet in possession, why didn't he, if he couldn't get that message across during the game, why didn't he go to the halftime and say, look, I get it. We are trying to, avoid injuries. We are trying to do this. We are trying to do that. But we need to create something. We need to do something. So I'm having questions about Amorim and the way, okay, cool. He's very self-aware. He knows how to speak in the media. He obviously knows what is the problem because I identified that problem, especially during the last game, right? And even the week before, when we didn't even know that we were going to play in the final. So he knows, but what are you doing to stop that? Why are you not encouraging them? Why are you? I would threaten them at some point. I don't care. I don't care. What
would you threaten them with?
I'm not going to get sick. I have, I don't care. You go to the board, I would threaten, if you don't play like you need to play and like you want it, motivational and blah blah, you're going to get benched in the Europa League final. I would literally go to try to find ways to motivate them. If they don't want to listen, BT and the rest of the chat and everyone, you're going to get hooked off. And that's the end of it, because there is always someone else who is going to want to play for the club. So this whole thing, okay, cool. He's very self-aware. He identified the problem with the mentality and everything, especially since United, qualified for the Europa League final. But this, you need to change it as well. You need to take the accountability. At the same time, the players need to be accountable. And the way they are going to be accountable is that they're going to get benched and they're not going to be playing the rest of the season. It's easy as it is. We don't have anything to lose. Well, except that final, but you need to be ruthless. That whole, poor you, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes that needs to get out of the window. This is a sport. This is a competition. You need to get it. You need to get it. And it's an embarrassment. He's been saying for months that this is the worst United team ever. And what did he do to help the team in the Premier League to get better? Nothing. We lost 5 more games and we had 1 draw. And
nothing effective, Dora.
Nothing effective. Cool, you have great media play a game, but you need to be self-aware in other ways and actually fix it. This is my problem with Ruben Amorim. And this is why my belief in him is shaky. Honestly.
I couldn't have guessed. Where are you, Dora? On a percentage of 100%?
50-50.
Okay,
it's 50-50.
That's a ratio.
Sorry. Language barrier.
Yeah. Honestly, Keir Starmer's coming for you, Dora. Mr. B, have you got anything to add on this as a top manager?
No, piss off. No, what I will say is that we've been talking about, obviously Dora was talking about, obviously since, we've done well in Europa, they've kind of switched off in the league, blah, blah. But before we knew we were any good in Europa, they had already switched off in the league. Yeah. I'm not sure if you can... I'm not sure cussing would have helped. If he had cussed them early, I don't think we would have got to the final. I'll be honest, because they're bitches and they take those things personal. Now, he can probably do it because he's got, 3 games plus 2 in Malaysia left for the season. So maybe now he can get a bit more ruthless. I wouldn't like to think he is a pushover in any way, shape or form. He knows what he wants to do. I'm hoping that he's learned, or, for next season, that there's certain things he's doing or certain styles of play that he wants his team to do that they were doing in Portugal that just can't run in the Premier League. Yeah, they can run in Europe, but Premier League is a whole different animal. Everybody says it. All of the players say it, the managers say it, so he's got to adapt, obviously, what his philosophy, change little bits. If he wants to play a 3-5, but he has to work out what's happening in front of there. I'm not sure some of the players have the belief. He told them that they already knew who was leaving or who wasn't going to be leaving. Now, the time that he said it, I would have put Casemiro on that list of the players who would have been leaving. So if he told Casemiro who was leaving, and that's how Casemiro was reacting, that's superb. But I would have liked to think it wasn't only Casemiro that he told. The rest of the players have been weak. Who's really stepped up this season? We can say, okay, Bruno is Bruno. His levels won't drop regardless of what people think.
Maguire, Yoro, Delo, Ahmad, I would say.
So that's five of what we're looking at. 5 of 25. Is
Mazraoui as well, yeah.
But is he stepping up as a new signing? Do you know what I mean?
He hasn't let us down yet, has he? Really?
Okay, then add certainly add Maz to that list then. But it's not like he's been here, performed poorly for a year or two, and then stepped up the way that a Casemiro or Maguire, who've kind of got the club into this situation in some ways, have really gone and shown character on the pitch to try and get it out of it.
but those are the experienced players. Those are the ones who have probably had the adversity and come back and thought, you know what, I'm not going to settle for this. My career is nearly finished. I'm not going to go out like that. Well, maybe the younger ones are thinking, well, maybe it's generational. Maybe it's generational because the younger player, I'm not saying they don't care. There's limitations to what they can and can't do. Obviously, he was talking about Amas. Maybe this is the reason why Amas hadn't been selected before. You know, because there's certain, you know, when they come in for 1 or 2 games, you know, cameos, they tend not to make the mistake. But once they're playing and an opposition manager realizes, okay, you know, they study these things. They work on weaknesses. You know, was it accident that Kufal was put on his side? Probably not. That's probably something that they worked at. You know, but then is it something that Amrin then has to counter by having somebody else pick up that job? So, you know, it's a chess. I suppose it's a game of chess that we keep losing at the moment.
Yeah, they're playing chess and we're playing. I don't know what we're playing.
Connect
We're playing in our own shit. Like, to be perfectly honest. What I did want is we got loads of quotes here, but like time is getting away from us. So I wanted to get to the last quote, which was given today in a Sky News interview.
Another one.
Yeah. I sent it to you. Did you not watch it?
No, I'm saying I watched it. I'm saying another one is in. He's given another interview. He just
interview that was from today. The interview I sent you. This quote is from today.
Okay. He's always doing interviews, man.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? Well, he says, "I'm really embarrassed. In 26 games, you win 6. Something is wrong in the way we are playing football. Sometimes it's not the way we play technically and tactically. It's the way we face competition, the way we get mad because we're losing, the way we protect the goal. In these ways, we need to improve." Yabba, you're a body language expert, but I want you to be a reading between the lines expert here and tell me what this says.
Look, you're trying to defend undefendable. Everyone's going to be on your case. When he has a review, he will have to justify to his management who signed him and brought him in. And when he has an appraisal at the end of the season, he's going to have to explain why we are doing so poorly. And I'll just give you a quick heads up about something I heard. Ryan Giggs, when Louis van Gaal came to the club, Louis van Gaal, you know this story?
I think I know what this story is, yeah.
Okay. So Louis van Gaal sent for him in Holland or something. He went to Holland. Ryan Giggs went out there, sat with Louis van Gaal. As soon as he got there, Louis van Gaal punched him in the stomach, said, "Yes, you're looking fit or whatever, strong and everything." And he sat him down and said, "Right, tell me, I'm going to name names, tell me who's in and who's out." Basically, because he knew Ryan Giggs was a senior pro, and Ryan Giggs would be able to say to him, "This guy's a tosser, this guy, get rid of him." You know, you need to know.
I've never heard this story.
And I think Rio made some good comments in the chat when he's saying there, look, there's no point burying the players publicly now because you're going to need them for the end of the season. But after that, he should be going to the board and being a snitch, saying,
this was my point.
Naming names, say, these guys have really let us down. If you're wondering why we're doing so poorly, you hired me for a reason because I've got credential. And I'm trying to bring that to this club, but I can't when you've got so-and-so players at this club who have not performed for me. So, and he will call them out privately. I'm sure he will. So when he's saying, "I'm really embarrassed, 26 games, you win 6, that's terrible. He's not used to that. He should be. He's from a high stock of manager from what he's done in the past. So something's wrong with the way we're playing football. I read between the lines saying something's wrong with the way we're playing football because I'm giving you the instructions, but something's wrong, meaning the players aren't able to do it. And that's where he's going to call out the players when the season's done and let the management know these guys I don't want them around because they're really letting us down. For example, what you saw with Agate, not saying Agate should go, but that attitude is not acceptable. And it's the way we need to change our whole culture and get back to being a winning club. And I think we should really back the manager because no matter what Ollie's done, no matter what Mourinho done, Louis van Gaal, David Moyes, all these other managers, there's something wrong with the club and the players that when you come to Man United, you put your slippers on and you think it's, you know, you can rest up now and get paid. We need to get back to raw ruggedness and see what we see. I'll give example. Newcastle doing fantastic. They got a guy called Jacob Murphy, who I mentioned the other day. He is unbelievable the way he runs around, hard work for the team. Joe Lilton runs around, hard working for the team. All that is inherent throughout the team. And the man of the match the other day when they played was Dan Burn, someone who's dropped. He's from Newcastle, didn't make it at Newcastle, went lower leagues, worked his way up, ended up in Premier League with Bournemouth, come back to Newcastle, got an England cap, and working his ass off. Whether it's left back, centre back, he's having it, and that's what you need. Those sort of characters to really take you forward. And because when you go to Newcastle, you know there's something special going on there with the attitude. They don't need an attitude adjustment. They got things just right. That's why you have players. You bring in players like Tonali and Bruno Guimaraes and all these guys, and they're on it. They are on it. They love it.
Yeah, Tonali's on it, isn't he? He's what a great professional.
Well, that was last year. We forgive him for that. And I'm sure the fans forgive him because he scored the other day. But that's what I'm saying. When I see Newcastle with maybe players that are not like outstanding, like the Dan Burns of the world, whatever, or the Murphy, but they're working their socks off and they've got the right attitude because they know if they don't have attitude,
greater than the sum of their parts, I think is what that is. But I just want to say a special shout out to Brendan Chappell. I don't think we've seen Brendan for over a year and a half, and I always wondered what happened to you. So I'm pleased that you're not dead, which is hopefully not the nicest thing you'll hear today. Right, Mr. B, I am dreadfully concerned about these quotes from Amorim, and I think that like earlier we were talking and I said that this will shock no one, but it's not a surprise to me what Scott McTominay has gone and done at Napoli. But what Anthony has gone and done has genuinely shocked me. It seems that any player that comes into this club, like a Mazraoui, like an Ugarte, like a De Ligt, who have come from massive European clubs, like the biggest clubs in their country, they haven't, with the exception of Maz maybe, they haven't been anywhere near the level of even a mid-table Premier League player. And then when these players leave, they go and show how great they are. And it suggests to me that there's a sickness in the club. And I don't know what it is. And I don't know that one of the only things I know is that changing the manager, I don't think makes a difference to it anymore. No. Like we've had this all the way back from Mourinho calling Pogba a virus and things. There's something rotten in the state of Denmark.
Glazers, come on now. We know what it is without getting too technical. We know it's internal. The shirt weighs heavy. Firstly, the United shirt is a very, very heavy shirt to wear. It's broken. It's probably broken more players than who have flourished it, especially recently. The fact that we're probably second, third largest club in the world probably has an issue as well. But these players, to me, you do something to reach the pinnacle, and playing for Man United is there at the pinnacle. So the fact that they don't want to give 100%, I can't believe that they all are. You know, we bought some rubbish, but there's players who you expect to have done a lot better. And this season, you say this season, last season, the season before that, they've always maybe flattered to deceive. You know, we talk about raising it for the big games. Well, who have we beaten big this season? Leicester, Southampton, and Ipswich. You know, let's be serious. We got the double, but West Ham did the double over us. And West Ham are 1 point above us.
Brentford.
You know, Brentford are always giving us licks. Bournemouth now don't even fear playing us. You know, he's talking about a mentality change. That's fine, but he has to have the players in. He has to be able to get the players in. I hope he's kept all the players on side to get them to this level, to as far as the Europa. And as soon as when they're leaving to go on the plane, he's going to say, you talk to your agent. But I believe that these conversations have already happened. and that's why there's certain players. I mean, we say that players who's playing bad, who is playing bad. Let's call it out. Bar the obvious one. Who else is playing bad? Euro's not playing bad. Maguire's
Do you want
not playing
names?
bad. Yeah. I want names. The players who are playing
Manu.
bad.
Kobe Manu is not performing at the level. Anana, Xerxes, Rasmus.
You say
Dorgu.
Xerxes. We don't know what Xerxes' levels are. So I'm not going to say Manu. Yes, he came in with a bang.
Dorgu.
Maybe this is Zorgu. Maybe this is Xerxes' maximum. Maybe he's playing at his maximum. You know, in Italy, he wasn't a goal scorer. You know, and he's not scoring goals for us.
A run,
but he pulled his hamstring. Bath time. It's not.
Look. You said earlier, professional footballers, you expect them to do the basics. In the Ten Hag part of the season, Xerxes missed more open goals than Rasmus did, or like very easy chances. He's been a disappointment. I think is, and we haven't really. We've seen good character from him to come back from after what happened at Newcastle, but the performances haven't really been there. So we can agree to disagree, but I would put him in the playing poorly category for the whole season. I'd put Anana and Bayinda in there. I think that's an easier sell.
Yeah.
I think that overall you have to
Ugarte.
look. Yeah, you have to look at Ugarte as a disappointment. I think you have to look at Mount as a disappointment as well, despite what he did the other day.
Is that because he hasn't been available to play?
Well, I mean, he's played in the last seven or 8 games.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, like
okay.
Yeah, so he hasn't really performed. I think that up until Roy Keane criticised Bruno, he wasn't approaching anywhere near his form.
Yeah, agreed.
I think that De Ligt, I know everyone seems to love him, but I don't see him as a particular. I don't think he's played particularly well for us. Who else is there?
Garnacho, just because he misses 15 chances every single game, like he's playing below. Like it is, the whole fan base is calling for him to be sold. So I think Garnacho is underperforming. That's for sure.
I think Garnacho is underperforming by his standards. I think he's been one of our best players.
Yeah, but what are his standards? This is the point. I mean, Garnacho we can say, mainly we can say, but the players who have come in and are playing their first season, I don't think it's fair to judge. All right, you can see limitations in Dorgu's game. You can see limitations in Xerxes' game. You can see, well, you and Yabba see limitations in De Ligt's game. But if these come next season, if these issues are still with the players, then fine. You know, there's a lot of obviously external things when you join a new football club, new language. Dorgu, I'm hoping becomes a better player next season. I mean, he's been with us for 6 months, but we do see his limitations already. Hopefully, I'm not going to say it's nerves, because if you can't cross, I don't think it's anything to do with nerves. But maybe somebody tactically will get onto him. You know, you don't have to slap the ball at 150 miles. Sometimes you need to caress it. Sometimes you need to, you know, kiss the ball instead of booting it, you know, slapping it, whatever. So maybe there's coaching-wise, maybe that summer they can bring something else to his game, because he just come in and had to be playing. I mean, as soon as we bought him, he was playing. You know, he hasn't had time to sit down and learn really what he wants. Maybe he's still living out of the hotel at the Lowry. Who knows what's going on? So hopefully, the first year players, I don't really want to dig out so much. But
even with the league place?
Well, see, the league place, again, I'm glad Amorim stuck to his guns with the formation, but couldn't he have gone 3-5-2?
Yeah, he could have. He could have played Xerxes and Rasmus. Could play Cheeto and Rasmus. Like
Ross Clark. Okay, yeah, maybe he couldn't have done it. Yeah, okay, yeah. Just adapting certain things to what he's doing. Because I look at the team and everybody's playing a 3-man central midfield and killing us. But he hasn't changed, and it doesn't look like he's going, which is fine. He stood by his guns, and to an extent it's worked in Europe, but not a fucking chance. But I think it's more the players maybe don't have the belief in what's going on. And we've done well in Europe, but guess what? We've got Tottenham, who are a Premier League team.
Do you think it says anything that let's be honest, the two worst teams in the Premier League not to be relegated are Spurs and United, and they're contesting the Europa League final? Like, the Europa League's not a very high standard, is it, based off that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think the standards,
you start the season, you got FA Cup, League, and if you're in Europe, that makes 4 trophies that you can go for. With the fact that we are in a final, regardless, we beat a lot of teams out there. Is the Europa League? We have to beat what's in front of you, and we've had a good run, and we're in the final, and we're playing Spurs in the final. Now, Spurs are a good team on their day. They've beaten us already this season. On it, they've got good players. They can do the business. So I wouldn't downplay the Europa League at all, because even when we were winning Champions Leagues, I might have said something. Yeah, that's wooden spoon cup or whatever. But it is the B team, B competition. But we're in it, and the prize is we get into the Champions League, and that will help us. So there's a reason why we want to win this. Because if we don't win next week,
that's not what I'm saying, though, is it? I'm saying that the 2 weakest teams in the Premier League have got to the final.
Maybe
it
suggests it doesn't. You're saying it suggests that the competition is not very good. I'm saying it doesn't, because they've turned it up. For them to get to the final, they've had to turn up. I didn't think Spurs would beat Frankfurt. They've got a good team. I didn't think but they turned it on. I didn't think we'd get through Bilbao or Lyon without a struggle, and it turned out to be struggles. So I'm not downplaying the teams in the competition. I'm just saying, for us to be there, it says that the Premier League is a flipping good league, because you've got teams down the bottom there competing for the final.
All right.
So
can I say something? You see, we got into Europa not by league position, by FA Cup.
FA Cup, yeah.
So if we get into the Champions, our form is still not great. Let's be honest. Now, God willing, we qualify for the Champions League again next season. We're going to need a whole load of players, because we were able to some extent to rotate. You play a slightly weaker team in this one. You hope to prioritize for the Premier League. We've seen what happened with Newcastle 2 seasons ago. Was it 2 seasons ago where they qualified for Champions League in Europe and dropped off a cliff? Villa, to a certain extent, they did, but they've come back. Obviously, they've come back well into it. I just think it's going to be a big struggle. I want us to qualify for the Champions League, but that opens up a whole another set of headaches for him, because you're going to need. We haven't even got any really great players.
We need 10. We need 10 players,
and these are first team players, right?
League. Yeah, to compete. Like, if we qualify for the Champions League, I genuinely don't think anyone is going to say that we have a shot at getting to the semi-finals.
Oh no! I think we're in it to get to the 16, to get the money, to go again. Yeah. I think we'll get to the 16 or something. And there's 2 problems, right? Because the first thing is, you can either just take the money and run and not field, the greatest teams in the Champions League, which is an insult to the history of this football club and to the people that, because I believe Villa charged roughly £100 a ticket for their Champions League run. £97.
Yeah. Right. Which I mean, that's not nice to do to your fans, in my opinion. But if we get into the Champions League and we get all this money, we've got to go and buy the players. But the issue that I have is I don't think that buying players cures the sickness that is in the club. And I'm not sure sacking Amorim cures the sickness that is in the club. And I'm not convinced it's the result of the Glazers or it's the result of sacking all these people. I think it's a huge amount of factors that have all added up and sort of accumulated into this like apathy that infects everyone. And I'm much more concerned about how we address that than getting into the Champions League, because genuinely the only real cure to it that I can see is relegation and being able to ship out huge amount of players. The Glazers would leave if we got relegated. They'd accept whatever Jim Ratcliffe paid for them. We'd lose a lot of the fans that annoy me on social media. But that can't be the answer, can it? It can't be.
No, Bathtime. No.
So what is the answer?
It's not that one. Whatever answer is, it's not what you just said. I've heard a lot of people talk about, relegate and reset. I'm sorry.
Oh, have you?
These teams, yeah.
Oh, that's been my secret thought today. I didn't know that was
people have been saying we'll be better if, get relegated. The Glazers might not go. And then what happens? They're looking to save money again. And then you look at Leeds. Leeds took forever to come back up. What gives United the divine right to get back? All those teams who raise it, playing us in the Premier League. What, you think all of those Division 1 teams with all of their patchet men aren't going to be wanting to put the job on United? I wouldn't trust them to get relegated and get promoted the next season. Bathtime. I'll be honest, I wouldn't.
I'm not saying that we would. I'm saying that there needs to be something that happens to sort these players out, because ever since it was the signings of Sancho, Varane and Ronaldo that kind of set us on this death spiral. We were in a really good position up till then. You know my thoughts on Louis van Gaal. I always felt that he was the architect of the downfall of Manchester United because he sold too many players and ripped the culture out of the club. And it's now been replaced by, I don't know what it's been replaced by, but I have no idea how you solve this problem. But I'm more and more convinced that sacking managers isn't the way forward. But at the same time, to be honest, Amorim, he deserves to be on the chopping block from the start of next season.
Yeah.
Because of the league record.
I mean,
Dora,
go on.
No, I'm saying, Dora, go ahead. The floor's yours.
No, I just want to say this. If you cannot make your team, make at least the game exciting. I mean, the only thing yesterday that was exciting was, Americans who watched the game on Peacock saying that their commentator farted live and they heard a freaking fart during the game. He literally farted. Yes, it is. Go on and check it. He pulled it out of him, as we say, Tihomir, like this. No, this one wasn't silent. This one's very loud because it was heard during the broadcast. That guy farted, and they farted on that performance, and on the fan base who watch. I don't know. Ask Americans. Apparently, that was the case. Go on the forums during the match threads of that atrocious game. So I get it. I know Glazers are always easy to blame. I mean, they are of course to blame. Poor happenings with the board. The managers. I mean, wrong managers coming to the club and trying to get adapted to the English football, which isn't very suitable in the way they are conducting football or whatever. I mean, Amorim is playing with the 3 at the back, if I'm not mistaken. Tuchel played as well at Chelsea, and he won Champions League, which is great. He was always in top 5, if I'm not mistaken, top 4. But I mean, he needs to adapt a bit. I'm not saying that he needs to change, all of a sudden play with the 4 at the back, change his philosophy wholeheartedly, but you need to adapt just a bit. to the different league. And it's obvious it lacks something. The players are making the mistakes. There is no physicality in the team. Something is not right. And in the club, and then consequently in the club is, the club is not doing so hot as well. So yeah, I think that, I'm concerned about Amorim in all honesty. But then at the same time, like, he got one signing. He needs to have a summer, but is United capable of buying 6 players, for example, at least 6 players, and selling deadwood? I mean, I'm reading right now that Chelsea is going to take a penalty by paying £5 million to get us Jadon Sancho back, to get Jason, to ship out Jadon Sancho back to Manchester. Like, we are full of deadwood. We are full of wrong players. We've only bought for years. We only bought players by their name. We didn't scout very well, and this is happening, right? We are 10 years behind everyone else. We are 10 years behind Liverpool. We are 10 years behind even Arsenal and Lego Head, Arteta, Horn. Like, my only piece is that even at the worst in the Premier League, United are still winning some trophies and Arsenal aren't. That's my only piece. And the rest of it, I'm so mad, I'm so angry, and honestly, I'm so disappointed. But yeah, Amorim needs to check it. But the board needs to back him, but he needs to adapt to this league because it doesn't work, Ruben. It doesn't work. So please make me excited during the games. Make me excited, watch United and not listening to commentators fart during live broadcast. And that being the one thing that is actually exciting. Please let United win some games and earn points in the Premier League.
You'd be such a perfect Bond villain, like Dora. I can imagine you speaking to James Bond like that.
Yeah. Slavic accent as well. Oh my God, they're salivating.
All right, Mr. B, do you have a closing statement for us? It's quite late.
I just want us to win. I want us to surprise. I want us to surprise everybody in our next game, and put a performance in that gives us some hope for the final. The closer it comes, the more I worry. And I think it's just gonna work. We're gonna lose again, but I would like us to put in a performance and beat Chelsea in the next game. We
are playing against Chelsea this week again. Or not again. We are playing Chelsea this week.
Friday. Yeah, Friday.
Oh, dear God. And they actually have something to play for. And we are playing for 40 points throughout the whole season. So, yeah, yay!
I think it's safe to say that there won't be a reaction show on Friday or a watch.
Oh, I guarantee you it won't be.
Friday. I will definitely won't be a watch along. There will be a reaction Friday. Actually, just set your notification bell in it. It might be one of them. Everyone knows Friday night, innit? Oh, I just want us to win a game, but honestly, I just want us to put a performance. Yeah, just put a performance in, and this is the part that I worry about. I know we're going. I'm not sure we can just turn it on. You can just suddenly switch it on and turn it on in that 4-week, 5-week pre-season period, because the club aren't going to buy the players straight away, are they? July the 1st. Or June the 1st, whenever it is. They're going to wait until August.
And Anthony.
There you go. And then sell. And sell Sancho, because he's going to be coming back.
To who?
Malacia, he's going to be coming back. All of these players who they got rid of, who ain't done nothing. I mean, Anthony might not come back. Maybe the Anthony deal will be done and he never has to come back to Manchester. But the rest of them will be back. They'll be back.
Amorim's never seen Sancho, has he? Like, I wonder.
We've seen Sancho, bro. We've seen Sancho.
He
ain't coming back to United. Freedom. Remember freedom. Just remember freedom, yeah?
He's the worst crosser in the league, by the way.
He's not.
It's a stat. Well, besides Dorguitsa, like from the wingers, from the attackers. So,
so we've got the worst left wing back. We've got the worst striker.
Goalkeeper.
And we've got that goalkeeper, and we sold out the worst number 10. Oh, we are fantastic.
But don't worry about Anthony. He's going to Barcelona. He's going to take Messi. Yeah, he's going
On
to
a
like
loan,
bench
maybe.
Yamal, isn't he?
Oh my
Right,
God.
yeah, but before I ask you Pope-related theories, do you have a closing statement? Do you have anything to rally the troops?
Yeah, remember there's a series, isn't it? Amazon All or Nothing, and that's where we're at. They've missed a beat by not following Man United this season because it's been a roller coaster ride. It's coming to an end. We've been doom and gloom, but then we've also had our good moments as well. And hopefully, at the end of the season or next Wednesday, we'll be cheering from the rafters when we win. And then we can talk about what we do with the players, manager, and all that kind of thing. But I'm fully behind the manager. I like the quotes he came out with. It's caused a lot of stirred a lot of thing up. I've even seen on social media, Twitter, and everywhere today they're talking about maybe Amorim out, and I'm really surprised by that. But we've still got something to play for, and I think next Wednesday is going to be a legendary game, a massive game, a nerve-wracking game. And this is just the adventure we go through as Man United fans. So come on, United, back the players, back everyone until then.
All right. With that said, as always, we have no real plan as to what we're doing for this week or next week or any time in the future. So it's very, very helpful to put your notifications on. And you can follow us at Twitter and speak to us and things like that. But for the time being, it is lack a notch. So it's a lack a notch from me.
Lack a notch from me.
Lack a notch.
Like or not.